So here's my take on applying to multiple roles at the same company. So maybe they have their degree apprenticeship, you want to apply to the banking degree apprenticeship and the technology degree apprenticeship, okay? Some companies allow this, some don't, but I've seen some comments about this in my YouTube videos. So I'm going to film this video basically saying what's my take on applying to multiple roles at the same company. Should you do it? Does it help you in the application process or does it not help you in the application process? That's what I'm going to cover in this video. Just one thing before we get into that, let me introduce myself in case you don't know me. My name's Owen, I'm a degree apprentice and I help people get degree apprenticeships in the engineering, technology and finance industries. Last year I helped people get into companies like Amazon, JLR, KPMG, HSBC, Deutsche Bank, just to name a few. And this year I'm helping my students get into degree apprenticeships. In particular, a couple of them have already got their assessment centres booked for JP Morgan. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so my take on this is no, don't apply for multiple roles, as I'm going to explain now. Okay, so the first reason is it risks disqualification. Okay, and I'll explain why this is. Most companies do not want you applying to multiple roles in the same year. So they don't want you applying to technology and finance at the same company in the same year. They don't want you to do that. Most companies aren't going to let you do that. So obviously, if you go and apply to multiple roles, they'll just disqualify you from both, I imagine. Okay. There'll be some companies who do explicitly say it is fine, yes, you can apply for multiple roles. Okay, in which case, fair enough, I guess if you want to, you can go and apply for multiple roles. However, there's going to be a middle ground. Okay, so you see like the sort of situation we've got. We've got companies who actively say sort of no, don't apply for multiple roles. We've got companies here who say, yep, multiple roles is absolutely fine. Okay, in which case, fair enough, go and apply to multiple roles. Then there's this middle area, I don't know why I'm pointing my face, but like there's this middle area here where the companies don't say anything either way. Like maybe they don't have it on their website, they don't have it in the application FAQs, they just don't say whether you're allowed to apply to multiple ones or not. So this is where you can risk disqualification. Obviously, if you apply here, but you're not going to do that, you're not stupid, right? If they say don't apply more than once, then you're not going to apply more than once. Like you're not stupid, right? And if they say you can, then you're fine, right? But if they say nothing, the problem is you're going to risk disqualification, because if they've said nothing, but they do have a policy of only one role, one application per year, then you risk both applications being rejected, because maybe they did mention it somewhere. Maybe it was somewhere on a different page of their website, in the middle of a terms and conditions you didn't read, in the middle of like an FAQ you didn't read, or maybe they just have a policy, they haven't properly explained it. But either way, if you apply to multiple roles at a company which hasn't said anything, you risk getting disqualified. So that's what I'd say first of all. If you are looking at a company which hasn't either way mentioned whether you can apply to multiple roles or not, me personally, I wouldn't want to risk it. I wouldn't want to risk putting in 2 applications for different roles in case they had that policy and they ended up disqualifying me from both of them. It wouldn't help anyone. So that's the first reason it risks disqualification, especially when it's unclear. Now let's say you do apply to multiple roles because like they explicitly said it's like you can do multiple roles, that's absolutely fine. If they say you can apply to multiple roles, should you? Okay, that's the question here. I think, this is the way I view it, I think a lot of people look at this like, if I apply for 2 roles, then I've just doubled my chances of getting into a degree apprenticeship. Okay, that's how they see it. I've just doubled my chances of being get into a degree apprenticeship. I actually think you've just halved your chances of getting into a degree apprenticeship, and here's why. I'm going to put this on screen here. This is sort of a circle, and there's lots of arrows coming out. Okay, a lot of small little arrows sort of coming out of this. Okay, and this is to do with something called essentialism. All of these arrows on this circle are different parts of your life, different focuses. Okay, so maybe it's schoolwork, maybe it's the part-time job you have, maybe it's you're in a football team, maybe it's you do swimming as well, maybe you also do a bit of volleyball on the side, you also have your social life with your friends, then there's like, oh, you play an instrument, you like going to like music festivals, and you also play video games. Okay, and there's like 10 different things here, 10 things, okay? You see how each of those arrows is small, because each of them's taking away your energy or your time or your money. Like on each of these sort of 10 interests that are in your life, you're spending a bit of energy, a bit of time, a bit of money towards that. Okay, which is why they're all pretty small. Okay, because you obviously got finite time, 24 hours in a day, you got finite resources, and you only have so much energy and sort of focus and that sort of thing. Okay, so you're just splitting it out evenly between those. Boom. Imagine if you cut down these 10, hypothetically, into just one focus. One thing you're interested in, okay? One thing you're interested in that used all your energy, it used all your resources, it used all your time. You put all of that and invested it into one thing. How big would the arrow be? Well, it would be that big, because it's all of those 10 things stacked on top of each other. But what it means is, it now means you're focusing so much on one thing that it's a massive arrow, you're going to get great results. When there's 10 of them, it's like you're only doing a small bit. It's like you're not going to achieve that much. Let me give an example. Let's say I do swimming, okay? Let's say I wanted to go and be swimming. Go and be swim, bro. What? Let me rephrase that, okay? My sport is swimming, okay? And I've been able to do decently well at it, and not too badly, right? I've swum at county level, regional level, that sort of thing, okay? Fine, right? I've been pretty dedicated to this. So I've swam about 4 or 5 times a week consistently. You could probably say 8 years, something like that. Let's go with 8 years, right? And it meant I've been able to get to a decent level, nothing crazy, but a decent level in swimming. Fair enough, okay? Similarly, let's say someone wanted to go and play football, okay? They wanted to go and be in the Premier League, okay? To get to the Premier League, like that level, get spotted by an academy, do well in the academy, go to a league team, get noticed by a Premier League, boom, there you go, there's the signing, there's the shirt, 80 million, right? To get to that stage, you're going to have to be playing football a lot from a young age, right? You're going to have to be playing football like 5 times a week. You'll go into training sessions. You're playing like every single day. Like just think about like famous basketballers. I don't really watch basketball or anything like that, but like Michael Jordan, right? I'm sure there's stories of him practicing basketball every single day. There's like another basketballer, I can't remember who it is, who used to like jump up and down like every single night on the stairs or something. Maybe I'm just making this up, but it's like to get into basketball, to get into the NBA, every single day playing basketball. To get into the Premier League, every single day playing football, okay? To me, to get decently well at swimming, like, okay, 5 times a week, 4, 5, 6 times a week swimming, okay? By doing that a lot, I was able to achieve those things. Michael Jordan achieved those things. Jude Bellingham or whatever achieved those things, fair enough. But what happens if you imagine this situation where instead of doing that, they did like this. I'm going to train basketball twice a week. Like this is the same person. I'm going to train basketball twice a week. I'm going to train football twice a week, and I'm going to swim twice a week. Would you have got into the NBA? No, because you're only doing basketball twice a week. There's people doing it every day who are going to murder you. Would you have got into Premier League football playing football twice a week? No, you wouldn't, because there's people playing football every day who are going to murder you.
Yeah. Oh, he's out.
Would you be sort of being able to get top level in swimming, decent level in swimming, going to competitions, winning medals? No, 2 times a week, it's not enough. You need to be training 5 or 6 times a week. And that's what happens with these arrows. That's what happens when you split all your energy. It means because your energy, your time, your resources are all split, you're not really achieving much. If you concentrate it into one thing, 7 days basketball, 7 days football, 7 days swimming, that's where you're getting into NBA, Premier League. Okay, this is called essentialism. Where am I going with all this? Essentially, if you split your focus between 2 different roles, okay, I'm going to apply to the HSBC Digital Degree Apprenticeship, and I'm going to apply to the HSBC Commercial Banking Degree Apprenticeship, it now just means your energy, your time, your resources, your focus is now split between these 2, because it's not 100% I'm going to learn all the questions which they might ask me in a banking degree apprenticeship. I'm going to do as much research about banking as I can. I'm going to do as much courses and work experience about banking as I can. It's now, no, I'm going to spend half my time getting work experience, half my time doing courses, and then the other half is going to be on this other degree apprenticeship doing digital and that sort of stuff, doing practice for digital. So that's why the way I see it, to do with this essentialism thing, instead of doubling your chances, you're just splitting your resources, you're splitting your time, you're splitting your energy. It means I would say you now have a 50% chance in each one. So it's better just to focus your time and energy into the roles at this company. Okay, I just want to clarify here, I'm not saying go and apply to one degree apprenticeship at one company. No, still apply to loads of different companies. That applies. You have to do that because they are just so competitive and you have to do that. All I'm saying is just for this, don't apply to multiple roles at the same company. So I'm saying still apply to lots of degree apprenticeships, but just not at the same company because it's not worth it. Okay, because you're just 50% your chance at that company. Now let's move on to the third one. The third and final one I'd say is, to me, it just seems a bit dodgy. If I was a recruiter and I'm looking at you and it's like, I can see your application, I can see your sort of application on our portal, this is your situation. Oh, I can see you've applied to technology and banking. Hold on, which one do you want? It just seems like you're not committed. It seems like, and this is probably the case maybe for some of you who do want to apply to multiple roles, it might seem like all I want to do is I don't want to get into debt. I want to go to a degree apprenticeship, whatever company, I don't care where it is, I just want a degree apprenticeship. They don't want to hire you if that's the case, because it shows you're not committed to the degree apprenticeship, it shows you're not committed to the company. They don't think you're going to stay here long term. They don't want to invest in you as a person, invest in your training, invest in your talent, if you're not even committed and you're going to leave. They want someone who specifically wants that company, they specifically want that degree apprenticeship. So that's why I'd say, don't apply to multiple, because it's like, I'm going to look at your application. Why are you applying for banking and technology? This is giving me red flags. Which one do you actually want? It kind of seems like you're just applying for everything available to get a job. Okay, obviously you're still applying for multiple companies. They don't know that. You're not going to like reveal your strategy to them. Oh, by the way, I'm just trying to get any degree apprenticeship. I've applied to 40 companies. No, you're not going to say that. But when it's the same company, I wouldn't recommend applying to multiple ones because it just seems like you're not committed and you're not really wanting this degree apprenticeship. That's how I see it anyway. That's my take on multiple roles. Of course, if you want to go apply to multiple roles, it's your prerogative. Go and do it. Personally, I wouldn't do it. I'd apply to lots of different companies, 10 plus, but at each company, just one role. I hope you found this video valuable. If you have enjoyed it, go leave a like down below. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Take care.